welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name's Michaela and this is Evergreen Inks. Today I'm going to be comparing Toscana Green, Gillio, to Epoca Green, to Epoca in general, and also to Touch Me, Vanderspeck, and just seeing where this new leather falls in comparison to the characteristics of the others. So the planners that I will be comparing it to, just for reference, are my A6 Compagna. I've got a Pocket Mia Cara. I've got a dark brown A6 Compagna, and then I have two Touch Me leathers, standard TN and a senior rings planner. It's a personal rings planner. And I'll be comparing it to all of those. It is a very cloudy, overcast day here, so my phone does color correct or brighten just a little bit, but it is not by any stretch of the imagination sunny here. Still daylight, but very gloomy. First, if you were interested, I'm going to compare the boxes because this planner came in a new box, which was a little bit of a surprise to me. Again, I'm not very in the Gillio community, so maybe this was not a shock to anybody else, but it was to me. This is the box that it came in. It's definitely like a sturdier box than the original, like the normal one. And I don't know when they switched to these boxes. I got this brown one in probably October or November, and it came in the standard brown box. And then I just, October of 2023. I'm filming this video in January of 2024, and that's when I got this new pocket cover. It came yesterday. And this is the box it came in. Still two pieces, but it's definitely like a firmer, like nicer quality, I suppose. And also the bag is a different color. It's a cream in like a buttercream color instead of the wine that we are used to. I don't know if people were interested. I just wanted to give them that because it is a change. Okay, so the one thing that I don't have to compare this cover to is a different Pocket XL. I had a gold and undyed bicolor at one point, but I have recently sold it. I do not have a green Pocket XL in Epoca to compare this to, which would be like the most ideal situation. So I'm trying to make up for that with the variety that I have chosen to talk about. If you hear any noises in the background, I think they are plowing or snow blowing the parking lot outside of my apartment window. So I apologize for any background noise that you are going to hear. Okay, to start off, as far as color is concerned, I don't know how well the camera captures it because, as I said, it does brighten, but the color of Epoca Green and Toscana Green are very similar. I don't think there's much of a change. I think the only difference is that this is very patinaed, very shiny. This is my most patinaed of my covers, and this one's brand spanking new. It looks matte, and I don't know. It looks matte, and so there's no shine to it, and I think that is the most significant difference in the color. I don't know how well any of the other Toscana colors will compare to their Epoca counterparts, but at least for the green, it seems very consistent. They used the same color stitching as well. Let me see if I can show you. It looks like they used the same color stitching. And there's a color difference on the camera, but I promise you that the color difference is actually not in person at all. It's just my camera. Okay. I had a question about which one feels softer. And for that, I'm actually going to compare to my newest Gillio Epoca, because I don't think it's a fair comparison between this one and this one, because this came to me used and already partially patinaed. And again, there's no patina, there's no hand oils on this whatsoever. So I think that's not a comparison. But I can tell you that this is much drier, and because it's drier, maybe a little bit rougher than a very patinaed Epoca, if that is anything. And I'm sorry for bumping the camera. I have a couple other Gillio boxes holding my camera in place because my stand is precarious. So if I bump, I apologize. Comparing, so this one, this just sits on a shelf. It holds extra inserts. It does not get handled very much. So comparing touch-wise, these two, I would still say that Epoca is softer because it is less dry, if that makes sense. But if you're talking about like squishiness, I would say that the Toscana is squishier. So I don't know what your personal definition of soft is, but my personal definition of soft is like how much patina in terms of like oil, how well oiled is the leather. This is a very dry leather in my personal opinion, which is why I got out the Touch Me's. Yes. Someone asked if it was like bouncier or fluffier. I think this cover doesn't have any stiffener to it. It's almost the same thickness as Epoca, maybe just a touch thicker, but it definitely feels bouncier. Not that there was stiffener added, but if you took like VDS stiffener and quartered it in thickness, like maybe that's what's in here. Does that make any sense? So I feel like it's bouncier than this one. Like it's squishier. Also, I did have a question. It doesn't squeak. There is no squeak to it. At least not this one. In terms of thickness, I'll compare it to an Epoca to try to get the best comparison. Let's see. It looks like it's very similar in thickness. When I picked this up, it seemed thicker. The Toscana seemed thicker, but it seems to be very close in thickness, except that this is squishier. So Epoca thickness, but add a touch because it's got a little bit of like fluff to it, for lack of a better word. Yeah. And in terms of like malleable, they're like, I would say that Epoca is a little bit more like malleable in this area. Like this, it feels a little bit firmer. If you can, I'm putting the same amount of pressure on these covers, and this one is like displacing more than this one. So I feel like this is firmer than that, but this is also my firmest of my Epocas, and that feels more similar in pull up. I know that's not the right word. So I don't think this is out of the realm of what Epoca could be, because this is a very like firm piece of Epoca leather. I got this in May of 2023 off of the web shop. New. I think it was a pretty good deal. Someone also asked about texture. So this is obviously not a normal Epoca. There is very little texture whatsoever. But in comparison to these two, there is much more pebbling on this. If you can tell, and it's definitely more defined and more raised, if that makes sense. You can brush your hand over this and feel the texture. Like if you like every individual pebble that's on it, you can feel it. And that's why I wanted to compare this to the Touch Me line from Vanderspeck, because I feel like the pebbling is a lot more akin to the Touch Me than it is to Epoca from Gillio. And so I wanted to share that with you also. I do not know how this is going to patina, but if it patinas like Touch Me, it'll just get shinier. It won't get less definition in terms of the texture, if that makes sense. I have no idea. I'm not sure anybody knows yet, so we'll have to see. But I did want to compare. So I got these two out. I wanted to show you in comparison to color. This is a very good color comparison between the Touch Me Thuya from Vanderspeck and the Toscana Green. Thuya is much more blue. It's much more of a teal than a forest green. In comparison to dryness to the Touch Me, this one again stays home. I've had this since October of 2022. It stays on my desk. It's more of a reference planner. I would say that Touch Me is drier than the Toscana. So Toscana is somewhere between Touch Me Thuya, or sorry, just Touch Me Vanderspeck in general, and Epoca. I would rate them driest to smoothest in this direction. But in terms of pebbling, I have seen Touch Me's this pebbled. I have had Touch Me's this pebbled. And so in terms of that kind of texture, I would equate it to this more than I would the Epoca. I also wanted to compare thickness of Touch Me to Toscana, and you can see that same pressure, but the Touch Me is very much thinner, more malleable, and the Toscana is much firmer in that regard. This one's more patinaed in terms of Touch Me because I carry this every day for months. So this does have a nice, it is starting to get a little bit more smooth and oiled because of hand oils. I think this would be more akin to an Epoca start. So if this Toscana is anything like Touch Me, then it will get oilier and not color change, because Touch Me doesn't, as far as I'm aware, I'm a relative planner newbie in terms of like nice leathers and how they patina. As far as I'm aware, Touch Me does not darken when it patinas, it just oils up. And I would not be surprised if the Toscana is the same way. Here's the texture of the back. It is lovely texture. I personally do like pebbles. I think they're fun to touch, and it makes my brain feel like static, which is nice. I don't have a problem with it, but it is not the subtle texture that you would find in Janet leather from VDS or the subtle leather that you would find in Epoca. It's definitely bolder in terms of texture. And so I would not say it is as soft as Epoca. Yep, I think that's it. Short and sweet. I wanted to just give information. Please list any questions that you have in the comments below. I will gladly either answer them in comment, or if there's enough questions, I will do a second part of this video. I just wanted to do something really quick, really simple, so that the planner community could know, because I know that there are a lot of questions. I had a lot of questions, which is one of the reasons I purchased this. Yeah. And then for my followers, so if you were just here for the Toscana information, you can, there will be nothing after this. For my followers, I will do a quick walkthrough of this at some point. It is set up as my wallet and on the go planner. Once I figure out what that means, because I now have 20 millimeter rings, I will do a flip. I don't know when that'll be, but it is a, like, put a pin in it, it's coming kind of thing. Yeah. With that, I will let you all go, and thank you so much for being here. Again, please ask any questions that you want. I will do my best, and I will see you next time. Bye.